Welcome back to Elderly Smiles. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click the bell icon to stay updated. Let's begin the discussion.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something I think a lot of us are interested in: living longer, healthier lives. And I mean, really living, especially in our 70s, 80s, and even beyond. Maybe hitting that incredible milestone of 100.
Absolutely. And it's a goal a lot of people share. And the great thing is that there's so much research showing that simple lifestyle changes can really make a difference in how long and how well we live.
I love to hear that. It's never too late to make positive changes, right?
Exactly. You've got it.
So speaking of positive changes, we found this really fascinating article that outlines 5 bedtime habits of people who live exceptionally long lives.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing is, these aren't some complicated or expensive routines, just small, consistent actions that can really add up over time and make a huge impact on our well-being.
I'm hooked already. So where do we start?
Well, the first one might surprise you. It's taking a gentle walk about an hour before bed.
A walk? Seriously. I don't need to be trained for a marathon in my 70s or anything, do I?
Haha, no, not at all. We're not talking about intense exercise here. Think of it more as a relaxing stroll around the block, just a nice way to unwind before you head to sleep.
Okay, I can handle that, but I have to admit I'm a little bit skeptical. How can just a simple walk help me live longer?
Well, there's actually a lot going on beneath the surface. Even when we do gentle physical activity, our bodies release these things called endorphins, those feel-good chemicals. They help reduce stress and boost our mood.
So that post-walk feeling of calm,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just in my head, it's like actual biochemistry happening.
Exactly, you nailed it. And by lowering those stress levels before bed, we create a much better environment for sleep. But it goes beyond just relaxation, too. Light exercise like that can help regulate our body temperature.
Okay, but how does that connect to living longer?
Well, as we get ready for sleep, our core body temperature naturally drops a little bit. It's a signal to the brain that it's time to wind down. And a gentle walk in the evening can actually help that cooling process along.
So it's like giving our bodies a nudge towards sleep mode.
Precisely. And that leads to better sleep quality overall. Those deep restorative sleep cycles. They're super important for cell regeneration and repair.
I see, so it's all connected. A simple walk, better sleep, and ultimately a healthier body.
You got it. And don't underestimate the long-term benefits of even moderate exercise. Regular walking can help with things like heart health, blood sugar control, and even boost cognitive function. All factors that contribute to a longer, healthier life.
Wow, it's amazing to think that something so simple can have such a powerful impact. I'll be lacing up my walking shoes tonight for sure. So what's next on this list of habits?
This one might require a little more discipline, especially for those of us who enjoy a late-night snack. It's all about avoiding overeating before bed.
Oh, I definitely know that feeling. Sometimes I find myself reaching for a little something even when I'm not really hungry. What's the harm in a little indulgence before bed?
Well, it turns out that eating a big meal or even just a snack too close to bedtime can mess with our hormone balance and really interfere with sleep.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this hormone connection.
All right, so when we eat, our bodies release insulin, which is a hormone that helps regulate blood sugar levels. Now, if we have a large meal, especially one that's high in carbs or sugars, it causes a surge in insulin.
And that surge affects our sleep. But how?
Well, high insulin levels can actually interfere with the production of melatonin, which, is the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle.
Ah, so it's not just about feeling full and uncomfortable before bed. It's about creating the right hormonal environment to support good sleep.
Exactly. When our hormones are out of whack, our sleep cycles get disrupted and it becomes harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. And then that can lead to a whole cascade of negative health effects.
So it's about making mindful choices throughout the day, especially in the evening, to create a more balanced internal environment.
Absolutely. You've got it. It's not just about resisting those late night cravings. It's also about being aware of portion sizes at dinner and giving our bodies a few hours to digest before hitting the hay. This gives our bodies a break and lets them focus on those restorative processes that happen during sleep.
That makes perfect sense. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Mm-hmm.
Simple actions, powerful results.
Right. Now, ready to tackle a habit that I think a lot of us struggle with.
Bring it on. I'm feeling motivated to make some positive changes.
It's all about creating a tech-free sanctuary before bed. Avoiding phone use before bedtime.
Oof, that's a tough one. I have to admit, I often find myself scrolling through news or social media right before I turn off the lights. What's the big deal about a little screen time before bed?
You know that blue light that our phones, tablets, and computers emit? Well, it's a real sleep saboteur.
I've heard blue light is bad for our eyes, but I didn't realize it affects our sleep too.
It does, and in a big way. It has a major impact on our circadian rhythm, which is that internal clock that governs our sleep-wake cycle.
So when we expose ourselves to that bright light in the evening, we're basically telling our bodies that it's still daytime.
Exactly. And blue light is especially powerful at suppressing melatonin production. This throws off our natural sleep-wake cycle and makes it much harder to fall asleep.
I'm starting to understand why I sometimes toss and turn for ages even when I feel tired. Maybe it's all that screen time before bed.
It's definitely a possibility. And remember, even a short burst of screen time in the evening can have a lasting effect. It disrupts our sleep patterns and stops us from getting that deep, restful sleep our bodies need.
Okay, I'm convinced. I need to find some healthier ways to unwind in the evening.
There are tons of options, things like reading, listening to some calming music, taking a warm bath, or even just spending time chatting with loved ones. It's about disconnecting from the digital world and creating a more relaxing environment for sleep.
Those are all great ideas. I'm feeling more relaxed just thinking about them.
Wonderful. All right, are you ready to dive into a habit that's both incredibly simple and soothing?
Absolutely. I'm open to anything that promotes relaxation and a longer life.
It's a foot soak before bed.
Now that's something I can get behind. I love a good foot soak, but I never considered it a longevity habit.
It's often overlooked, but it actually offers a really powerful combination of physical and psychological benefits. Think about it, our feet work so hard all day carrying us around. A warm foot soak is a great way to show them some love.
It's so true. I often don't realize how much tension I'm carrying in my feet until I give them a good soak.
Exactly. And it's not just about soothing tired muscles. Warm water helps to improve circulation, which is essential for overall health and well-being.
You know, I've heard that our feet contain a lot of pressure points that correspond to different organs and systems in the body. Is there any truth to that?
There is. Reflexology, which is an ancient practice that focuses on applying pressure to specific points on the feet, suggests that these points are connected to different areas of the body.
So by stimulating those points, are we essentially sending a positive message to our internal organs?
That's the idea. While we need more research to fully understand how it all works, many people find that foot soaks, especially when combined with massage, can help relieve tension, reduce pain, and just promote a sense of well-being. And ultimately, anything that reduces stress and promotes relaxation will contribute to a longer, healthier life.
I'm a big believer in the power of relaxation. Are there any special techniques for making the most of a foot soak?
Adding Epsom salts to your foot soak is a great way to boost those therapeutic effects. Epsom salts are rich in magnesium, which is a mineral that's essential for muscle and nerve function, and even sleep regulation.
Oh, I love Epsom salts. I usually use them after a workout if my muscles are sore. I never thought to add them to my foot soaks.
It's a game changer, and you can even find Epsom salts that are infused with essential oils for an extra aromatherapy boost. Lavender, eucalyptus, and chamomile are all great for promoting relaxation and sleep.
You know what? I am making a note to stock up on Epsom salts and essential oils. My evening routine is about to get a major upgrade.
Wonderful. Now, are you ready for the last habit on our list?
Absolutely. I'm eager to hear what other wisdom these centenarians have to offer.
This one might seem obvious, but it's often the most challenging to actually put into practice. Aiming for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night.
I know sleep is important, but I have to be honest, I'm sometimes guilty of sacrificing sleep to get more done. Is it really that crucial for living a longer life?
It's more crucial than most of us realize. Sleep is far more than just rest and recharge time. It's an active state where our bodies and minds are working hard to repair, restore, and rejuvenate themselves. Think of it like your body's nightly maintenance crew coming in to do their work.
Okay, I like that analogy. So what's happening during those 7 to 8 hours that makes sleep so important for how long and how well we live?
During sleep, our cells regenerate, our muscles repair, our hormones rebalance, and our immune system strengthens. It's a time for our bodies to hit the reset button and rebuild.
Wow, so when we skimp on sleep, it's like we're delaying those crucial repairs and putting more stress on our bodies.
That's exactly right. And over time, that built-up stress can lead to a whole host of health problems, from a greater risk of chronic diseases to faster aging.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm committing to getting those 7 to 8 hours starting tonight. But what if I'm just not a good sleeper? Any tips for improving sleep quality?
Absolutely. There are a lot of things we can do to make our sleep environment more conducive to rest and train our bodies to fall asleep more easily and stay asleep throughout the night.
I'm all ears. Tell me everything.
One of the most effective strategies is to create a consistent sleep schedule. That means going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
Yeah, I know I've heard that before, but it's hard to stick to, especially when my schedule changes or I have things going on in the evening.
I hear you. It can be tough, but consistency is key. When we have a regular sleep schedule, we're basically training our bodies to fall asleep and wake up more naturally. It might take some effort at first, but it's worth it in the long run.
Right. I'm willing to give it a shot. What else can I do to make my bedroom more sleep-friendly?
Think of your bedroom as a sleep sanctuary. Make sure it's dark, quiet, and cool. These are all cues that tell your body it's time to wind down and get ready for rest.
That makes sense. Darkness tells our bodies it's nighttime. Quiet helps them minimize distractions, and cool temperatures help regulate our core body temperature for sleep.
Exactly. You could also try things like blackout curtains, a white noise machine, or even a fan to really create that optimal sleep environment.
I like those ideas.
Yeah.
What about those pre-sleep rituals we talked about earlier? Things like avoiding screens and taking a relaxing bath. Do those really make a difference?
They absolutely can. Our minds and bodies need time to unwind before we hit the pillow. Engaging in calming activities like reading, listening to soothing music, or taking a warm bath can really signal to your body that it's time to relax and get ready for sleep.
So it's all about creating a transition period between the busyness of our days and the quiet of the night.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's all about honoring the natural rhythms of our bodies and creating a space for that restorative sleep to happen.
This has been so insightful. I feel inspired and ready to make some positive changes to my bedtime routine. I'm especially intrigued by the connection between these simple habits and living a longer life.
That's great. And remember, it's not just about one single habit. It's about creating a whole bedtime routine that supports your well-being. And when you make those small, consistent changes, you're sending a powerful message to your body that you're committed to health, vitality, and longevity.
Well said. And I think that's a great place to pause for part one of our exploration. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still more to discover.
You got it. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve even deeper into the science behind these habits and explore some practical tips for making them a part of your everyday life.
Can't wait. We'll be back soon.
Welcome back. Glad you're still with us as we dig a little deeper into these longevity-boosting bedtime habits.
Me too. I'm excited to unpack the science behind these simple but powerful practices. Where should we start?
Well, let's revisit that gentle walk before bed. We talked about how it helps regulate the nervous system, but there's actually a fascinating hormonal aspect to it as well.
Ooh, I love a good hormonal dance. Tell me more.
So when we engage in even light physical activity like walking, our bodies release endorphins. Those are the feel-good chemicals that act as natural stress relievers and mood boosters.
So that post-walk feeling of calm and contentment?
Yeah.
It's not just in my head, it's actually the endorphins doing their thing.
Exactly. And by lowering those stress levels before bed, we're creating a much more conducive environment for sleep. And here's another interesting connection. Gentle exercise can also help regulate your body's core temperature.
Okay, so how does that tie into sleep?
Well, as we prepare for sleep, our body naturally cools down a little bit. That drop in core temperature signals to the brain that it's time to wind down. Light exercise in the evening can actually help facilitate that process.
So it's like giving our bodies a little nudge towards sleep mode.
Exactly. And the benefits go beyond just falling asleep easier. Gentle exercise can also improve the quality of your sleep, leading to those deep restorative cycles that are so crucial for repair and rejuvenation.
I'm really starting to see how it all fits together. It's amazing that something as simple as a walk can have such a profound impact on our sleep and overall health.
It really speaks to how interconnected our bodies are and the power of even small, consistent actions.
Well said. Okay, now I'm curious to learn more about the science behind avoiding overeating before bed. We talked about the strain on the digestive system, but what's actually happening on a physiological level?
Right. So when we eat, our bodies release a hormone called insulin, which helps regulate blood sugar levels. Now, if we eat a big meal close to bedtime, especially one high in carbs or sugars, our bodies experience this surge in insulin.
And that's a bad thing.
It can be, especially when it comes to sleep. High insulin levels can actually interfere with the production of melatonin, that sleep-regulating hormone we talked about earlier.
So it's not just about giving your digestive system a break. It's also about balancing those key hormones for optimal sleep.
Precisely. And when those hormones are out of whack, it can disrupt our sleep cycles, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep throughout the night.
That explains why I sometimes wake up feeling groggy even after a full night's sleep. Maybe it's my late-night snacking habits.
Definitely a possibility. And remember, those hormonal fluctuations can have ripple effects throughout the body, impacting everything from our energy levels to mood, even cognitive function.
So it's not just about avoiding indigestion, it's about creating a hormonal environment that supports our overall health and well-being.
Exactly. Thinking holistically and making choices that support your body's natural rhythms.
Okay, what about that blue light from our phones? We know it's bad for sleep, but what's the scientific explanation for that?
Well, our bodies are incredibly sensitive to light. In fact, light is one of the primary cues that regulate our circadian rhythm, that internal clock that governs our sleep-wake cycle.
So when we expose ourselves to bright light, especially blue light, in the evening, it's like telling our bodies that it's still daytime.
That's a great way to put it. Blue light is especially powerful at suppressing melatonin production, throwing off our natural sleep-wake cycle, and making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
It's not just about when we're exposed to the light, right? The intensity matters too.
Absolutely. Those screens on our phones, tablets, and computers, they emit a really intense form of blue light, much stronger than the natural blue light we're exposed to from the sun during the day.
So even a little bit of screen time in the evening can have a big impact on our sleep.
That's right. And those effects can linger for hours, disrupting our sleep patterns and preventing us from getting that deep restorative sleep we need.
Okay, I am definitely putting my phone away earlier from now on. So what about foot soaks? What's happening beneath the surface that makes them so beneficial for sleep and overall health?
Foot soaks offer this wonderful combination of physical and psychological benefits. On a physical level, warm water helps relax those muscles and improve circulation. This can be especially helpful for people who experience foot pain or swelling.
And we talked about those pressure points in the feet. How do those tie into the benefits of a foot soak?
Right. Well, reflexology, a practice that focuses on applying pressure to specific points on the feet, suggests that these points correspond to different organs and systems in the body.
So by stimulating those points, we could be positively impacting our overall health.
That's the idea. While more research is needed to fully understand how it all works, many people find that foot soaks, especially when combined with massage, can help relieve tension, reduce pain, and promote a sense of well-being.
It's fascinating to think that something as simple as warm water and a little bit of pressure can have such a big impact.
It really highlights the interconnectedness of our bodies and the power of simple natural remedies.
Well said. Okay, ready to move on to the final habit on our list. Prioritizing those 7 to 8 hours of sleep. We know it's important, but what's actually happening during those hours that makes sleep so crucial for longevity?
Sleep is so much more than just a time for rest and recharge. It's an active state where our bodies and minds are hard at work, repairing, restoring, and rejuvenating themselves. It's like your body's nightly maintenance crew clocking in.
I love that analogy. So when we skimp on sleep, it's like we're delaying those crucial repairs and putting more stress on our bodies.
That's a great way to put it. And over time, that accumulated stress can lead to all sorts of health problems, from a higher risk of chronic diseases to faster aging.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm committing to getting those 7 to 8 hours starting tonight. But what if I'm just not a good sleeper? Are there any tips or tricks for improving sleep quality?
Absolutely. There are lots of things you can do to create a more sleep-conducive environment and train your body to fall asleep more easily and stay asleep through the night.
Like what? I'm all ears.
One of the most powerful things you can do is establish a consistent sleep schedule. That means going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
I know. I've heard that before. It's so hard to stick to, especially with all the demands of life.
I hear you. It can be tough, but consistency is key. Your body thrives on routine. And when you stick to a regular sleep schedule, you're essentially training your body to fall asleep and wake up more naturally.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a try. What else can I do to make my bedroom more sleep-friendly?
Think about your bedroom as a sanctuary for sleep. Make sure it's dark, quiet, and cool.
That makes sense. Darkness tells our bodies it's nighttime. Quiet minimizes distractions. And a cool temperature helps regulate our core body temperature for sleep.
Exactly. You could also invest in things like blackout curtains, a white noise machine, or even a fan. All those things help create the perfect sleep environment.
I like those ideas. And what about those pre-sleep rituals we discussed, like avoiding screens and taking a relaxing bath? Do those really make a difference?
They absolutely can. Remember, our minds and bodies need time to wind down before sleep. Engaging in calming activities, things like reading, listening to soothing music, or taking a warm bath, it can all help signal to your body that it's time to relax and prepare for rest.
So it's about creating that transition period between the busyness of our day and the quiet of the night.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's all about honoring the natural rhythms of our bodies and creating space for that restorative sleep to occur.
This has been so insightful. I'm feeling inspired and empowered to make some positive changes to my bedtime routine.
I'm so glad to hear that. Remember, even small adjustments can make a big difference.
Welcome back to our exploration of these longevity-boosting bedtime habits. I'm feeling energized and ready to learn more about how to actually put these habits into practice.
I'm happy to hear that. Let's dive into some practical tips and strategies, things you can really use to make these habits a part of your daily life.
Sounds good to me. Where should we start?
Well, we've talked about the benefits of an evening walk, but I realize not everyone is up for a stroll every evening, especially as we get older. If mobility is a concern, or maybe you just prefer other forms of exercise, there are plenty of great alternatives.
I was wondering about that. What are some good options for those of us who might not be able to walk for a full hour every evening?
Gentle yoga, Tai Chi, or even some light stretching can be great ways to move your body without putting too much strain on your joints.
Those are great suggestions. I've tried yoga and Tai Chi before, and I always feel so relaxed and centered afterward.
Exactly. And if you prefer to stay indoors, there are tons of guided exercise videos online specifically designed for older adults or those with limited mobility.
That's so helpful. I really appreciate you addressing those different needs and abilities.
Of course. All right, let's shift gears for a minute and talk about strategies for avoiding overeating in the evening. We talked about the negative impact of those late night meals and snacks, but I know it can be really challenging to resist those cravings.
Oh, it definitely is. Especially when you're feeling tired or stressed at the end of the day. Sometimes a little treat feels like the perfect way to unwind.
I understand. But remember, those indulgences can actually backfire and disrupt our sleep. One helpful strategy is to practice mindful eating, paying attention to our hunger cues, and really only eating when we're truly hungry, rather than out of habit or boredom.
Mindful eating. That's a great concept. I think I'm often guilty of mindless snacking, especially in the evening when I'm watching TV or reading a book.
It's a really common habit. But when we start tuning into what our bodies are telling us, we can start to make those healthier choices. Another helpful strategy is to plan our meals and snacks in advance. This way, we're less likely to make impulsive decisions and reach for those unhealthy treats.
That makes sense. Planning ahead always seems to help me stay on track with my health goals in general.
Absolutely. And don't forget about staying hydrated throughout the day. Sometimes we mistake thirst for hunger, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water.
Good reminder. I'll definitely be keeping a water bottle handy from now on.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Or maybe I should say the smartphone in the bedroom. We talked about the negative impact of blue light on our sleep, but breaking that habit of scrolling before bed, it can be really tough.
You're telling me. I'm so guilty of getting lost in that digital world for way too long before I finally turn off the lights.
It's a common struggle these days. But there are some simple things we can do to minimize our exposure to blue light in the evenings. A lot of devices now have a built-in night mode or a blue light filter that you can activate.
Oh, that's right. I've seen that setting on my phone, but I never really understood what it did. I'm definitely turning that on tonight.
It's a small change, but it can make a big difference. And if your device doesn't have that feature, you can always download apps or even buy special glasses that block blue light.
Those are great options. It's amazing how technology can both help and hinder our sleep. But it sounds like we have the power to choose how we use it.
Absolutely. Now, let's go back to the foot soak for a minute and explore some ways to enhance this already relaxing ritual. We talked about adding Epsom salts and essential oils, but there are other ways to elevate the experience too.
Ooh, I love the idea of creating a spa-like experience right in my own home. What else can I do?
Well, you could try using a foot roller or a pumice stone to gently massage and exfoliate your feet. This helps stimulate circulation and leaves your feet feeling soft and smooth.
Those are great tips. I'm going to pamper my feet tonight. They deserve some extra love after carrying me around all day.
They certainly do. And finally, let's talk about optimizing those precious 7 to 8 hours of sleep. We've discussed sleep schedules and sleep environments, but there are other strategies we can use to maximize sleep quality.
I'm all ears. I'm always looking for ways to improve my sleep.
Incorporating a relaxation technique into your bedtime routine can be incredibly beneficial. Things like deep breathing exercises, meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation can help calm the mind and prepare your body for sleep.
I've heard great things about those techniques, but I've never really tried them. Are they difficult to learn?
Not at all. There are tons of free guided meditations and relaxation exercises available online and through apps. You can even find resources specifically designed for improving sleep.
That's fantastic. I'm going to explore those resources tonight. I'm feeling really inspired to make some positive changes.
That's wonderful to hear. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. Start by incorporating one or two of these habits into your routine and see how you feel.
Great advice. It's all about taking those small steps towards a healthier, more vibrant life.
Exactly. And remember, prioritizing your sleep is an act of self-care and a powerful investment in your longevity.
Well, this has been an incredibly enlightening deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for improving my sleep and my overall health. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insights with us.
It's been my pleasure. I encourage all of our listeners to embrace these bedtime habits and experience the transformative power of restorative sleep. Sweet dreams, everyone.